With the Brother Aveneer, there are so many things you can do with My Design Center. Join me for this video and we'll talk about it. Hey guys, I'm Megan with Rocky Mountain Sewing and Vacuum, and today we're playing with the brand new Brother Aveneer. On the Brother Aveneer, it has brought back the Brother My Design Center, and in there they've added a whole bunch of new things like new fills, new capabilities, and I can't wait to show it to you guys. So let's dive right in. First things first, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take my stylus, unscrew this piece, and use this tip right here because it'll give me a little bit more accuracy. And it actually comes with the machine, so that makes it nice and easy. You might have noticed it has a perfect little indent up on top here too for it to live. So it's nice and convenient and pretty close. If this doesn't work for you though, you can actually plug in a mouse, wired or wireless, so that you can kind of do more detail work. For now, we're going to stick with the stylus though. So I'm going to go ahead and open My Design Center. There she goes. And right here, this looks pretty familiar, especially if you've had another Brother machine in the past. So right here next to me, I've got the scanning frame for the machine. And I found a cute little clip art that I think would be really fun to turn into an embroidery design. So I'm going to slide that into the machine here. Anchor it down just like it's a hoop. And I'm going to go back to the screen. And I'm going to go ahead and scan in a line design since it's a black and white image. I can tell the machine that I want to do the machine. Just kidding. I can say scan. And now it's going to tell me it's going to move. And now, when she starts going, you can hear how quiet that embroidery unit moves. So she's going to go ahead and scan that hoop, and we'll get to play with the design from there. As you just saw, it actually scans this scanning frame much faster than its predecessors too. So it saves you a little bit of time. Along with that, I can kind of move these guys in. I'm not going to do the other corner because we can kind of tweak it and I want to show you that. And on the bottom of the screen here, I can tell it ideally what type of stitch I'm going to want. So instead of a really thick satin stitch, I'm going to tell it that I want just a plain straight stitch instead. So beforehand, it would just automatically scan it in as that thick satin stitch. Now I can tell it which one I want, which helps me save a lot of time. So I'm going to press OK, and there's our cute little design. So I think it actually did a pretty good job. I can still play with it a little bit and retry. Okay, we're getting a little bit more detail. Maybe I go one more. I think that turned out all right. So once I'm happy with my design, I go ahead and press set, and it's now brought it into the My Design Center. From here, I like to get rid of the opacity, and then I can go in and erase some stuff. So it obviously grabbed on to some of those magnets, so I can go and get rid of those guys. This is the perfect time that mouse would be perfect. So I'm going to erase some of those things, but you notice I keep missing a little spot that's right there. So I can zoom in quite substantially, use my little hand, scooch over, and then go back and erase away. Whoop. So you can really kind of go in and tweak your designs quite easily. Whoop. Back to my hand, pull it up, and then we can get rid of a lot of stuff. Whoop. I accidentally went a little too far. If I can't find my design like I'm doing there, I can just bring it back to 100% and go from there. There she is. So then I can kind of go in and erase this stuff over here. Whoop. Now, I'm not going to do a perfect job for now, but what is nice is if you don't do a perfect job and you know you want to come back to it later, you can always save it to your pocket, and it will save it into the My Design Center for you so you can come back to it. I also am going to zoom in just a little bit on my kitty cat because it's got a little bit of extra fluff in there. And I'm going to get rid of some of that extra fluff. Whoop. There we go. Get rid of this stuff. I think I'm going to get rid of the clouds and stuff too. So this makes it so I can just kind of neaten her up, make it pretty, make whatever tweaks I want, and go from there. You can use my stylus for this one. There we go. I'm going to make that a little less nuts on the bottom, I think. Perfect. Just clean it up a little bit. There we go. And voila! Now I've got my little kitty. So I'm going to bring his back to 100%. And so right now I can see my cat, and it's very, very cute, but I can add some things to this. So maybe I want to add a border around my kitty cat. So let's see. Let's put her in a flower. How about that? So I'm going to add this stamp around the cat. And then I can resize it, make it smaller, so you can kind of see that I'm playing around with it. Now, what's interesting about this feature of the machine is that it's not actually an embroidery design yet. This is kind of like bringing a design into software and tweaking it a little bit. Now, the machine doesn't do as good at software, but it's super close. It does a fantastic job of kind of tweaking and making it so you can create your own designs. Now, I'm going to add one more border because I want to play with some of the extra things that are in here. Oop. Perfect. So I'm going to call that good on that front. Now, what I can do here is I can go into my stitch menu, and I've got different stitches I can choose from. And one that I'm excited about is this wide zigzag. So if you choose the first zigzag, it's a really thick satin stitch. The second one is more of the standard zigzag that you typically see if you're doing something like an applique design with embroidery. So you can turn something into applique. I can also go in to this little stitch category right there, the little flowers, hit select, and now I can add a different design. So I'm going to do it, I always say pick an obvious color. I'm going to make my outside border that stitch right there. So now you see that it changed green, now I know that it's active. But let's talk about fills, because let's be honest, fills are one of the most exciting things about these guys. So when I go into fills, what that does is it will cover a space with whatever stitch I select. And on here, you can see there's tons and tons of options here, 54 of them in fact. So I'm going to pick one of the new ones, which is really, really cute. Not that they're all not new, but I just think that whenever they add more, I always want to play with those ones first. And I'm going to put that around my little shape there. And then from there, I'm going to save to the machine. Perfect. Hit next. And now it's going to generate it into stitches for me, so I can see what my kitty cat's going to look like. Perfect. Look how cute she is. All right, so I can see my fill right there, but maybe I want that a little bit tighter so we can see the fill a little bit more. I can go in here and reduce the size of it. So I'm going to bring it down to 50%, and look how close together that fill becomes. There we go. That's looking a little better. Now I'm going to flip over to one of the next sections of my kitty cat. I think the straight line looks just fine. This is about the part where we start really getting into the digitizing. And now I'm on my little outside stitch. Now I'm noticing all those little hairs are pointing on the inside. I guess hair isn't the right thing. Probably more like stem. I can flip it so they're on the outside. Let her think for a second. That's a little bit cuter. And then I think I'm going to make the spacing a little bit further apart. There we go. That's adorable. So I'm going to go ahead. Whenever I make a change, I always hit save just to my design center so I can tweak it later if I decide I didn't like the eyeball on that one or something. Then I can hit set. She lets me know I'm going to leave. And now we've created an embroidery design. I'm going to just save it back to the machine again. And now I can create that into whatever project I want. Alongside of this, my design center is just such a fun tool to have on the machine. You can do quilting designs around your embroidery patterns. You can scan in a signature that somebody you love wrote and turn that into stitches for it. You can do things like family recipes. There are so many possibilities with it. In the comments below, let us know what ideas you have for your My Design Center on the Brother Aveneer. And if you haven't, checked out the YouTube playlist we've got for these guys, talking all about the different features within it. Thanks so much for joining me on this, and I'll see you guys on the next video. And definitely stop by one of the stores and give it a test drive yourself to play with that My Design Center. Hey guys, here at Rocky Mountain Sewing and Vacuum, we always like to make sewing fun start here. And so we appreciate you watching this video. If you want to see more like it, check out this playlist. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you know what is happening here. So we'll see you guys next time.